Find your way onto your mat, lowering yourself onto your back in your Shavasana, and settling in. And send the feet and arms out wide away from your body, creating space. And begin to connect with your breath. And take a long breath in through the nose, let your belly rise up to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, allow your belly to soften and sink back down towards your mat. Big breath in, belly rise. And slow breath out as the belly falls. Holding on to that same slow rhythm of breath. Not just here on your back, but also throughout your entire practice. Every breath in your body's invitation to expand, to take up space. And every breath out, find some softness, releasing tension and stress as you settle back into your mat. Start to slowly awaken your body by wiggling fingers and toes. Find some gentle rotations in the wrists and the ankles. In both directions. Find stillness through the limbs as you turn the gaze over the right shoulder, sending your right ear down towards the mat. Keep your left shoulder rooted into the earth. Find a stretch up the left side of your neck. Draw your gaze back through center, and over to the left. Return your gaze to neutral. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat. Draw the right knee in towards your chest. Interlace the fingers around it. And hug it in close. In wind relieving pose, find length from the left heel to the top of the head. So draw the toes of the left foot towards your face. Finding activation through the entire left leg, thigh, hip, glute. So let the right leg be passive, soften through the ankle as you hug it in close. Without losing activation through the left leg, draw the right hip crease away from your shoulders and down into the mat. Stay here in stillness or start to take gentle rotations with the right knee. Drawing circles with the right thigh. In both directions. The next time the right knee comes towards the right shoulder, the outer right shoulder, pause there. Ground down through the left hip, press it firm into the mat. Opening up the inseam of the right pant leg to the sky. Creating a sense of openness to the front of the pelvis and the hips. If you're feeling a nice stretch here, stay as you are, or you can come into half happy baby. Bring the right arm to the inside of the right leg. Reach across your shin and take hold of the pinky toe edge of the right foot or holding onto the outer edge of the ankle. Right knee continues to reach for the floor beside your right shoulder. Start to draw the heel away from the thigh as you bring the sole of the right foot towards the ceiling. Deep bend in the right knee, working towards 90 degrees, but it's okay to not get there today. This is a little too much. You can always bend through the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot onto the floor, maybe tipping it out to the left side for balance. The body's going to naturally want to tip over to the right. See if you can keep your left hip heavy on the mat. Slowly release the right foot, draw the right knee back through center, hug it in. Extend the left leg long if the knee is bent. Returning to your wind relieving pose. Taking just a few breaths here in the center. Release the right arm at your side. Left hand on the right knee starts to guide it across your body over to the left. Coming into a twist, the right hip will lift, but keep the right shoulder reaching for the floor. And you can place a pillow or a block beneath the right knee for some support, or it can simply hang in space. Left hand can rest softly on the right leg for some added weight, or it can extend out wide at your side as well. Gaze is to the ceiling or over to the right, bringing the stretch into your neck if that feels okay. Just noticing where in your body you're feeling tension in this twist. Send your breath there. Find a sense of expansiveness as you breathe in. And on the exhale, soften the tissues. Maybe sink a little bit deeper into your twist without being forceful. And return your gaze through center. The right knee will follow. Hug the right knee in close towards your chest, give it a squeeze. And then lower the sole of the right foot onto the mat, knee is bent. Reach through your left heel, belly button draws down towards the mat. Active core as you reach the left heel up towards the sky. So the right foot's on the mat, the left foot is reaching up towards the ceiling. You can interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. You can use a strap if you have one to add length to your arms. Either looping the strap behind your thigh or over the mound of your foot. Press down firm through both left and right hips. And feel the contact between the interlaced fingers and the back of your thigh and the fingers. Really pressing the two into each other. Work towards a straight left leg, but it's okay to have a little bend in the knee to protect the joint. The toes of the left foot are reaching for your face. And turn the left toes to face the left side wall. Bend at the left knee. Let the pinky toe edge of your left foot land on the right thigh. Really squeeze the pinky toe edge of the foot into the thigh into the foot. Send the left knee away from your left shoulder. You can even use your left hand to gently guide it away. At the same time, squaring up the hips, so really root down through the right hip. If you're still not feeling a stretch and you'd like to go a little bit deeper, draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Pelvis, the tailbone's going to want to lift up. Lengthen through the spine. Keep the tailbone heavy on the floor. You can interlace the fingers behind the right thigh or in front of the right shin, whatever is accessible. Just play with the position of the right knee. Rather than drawing it in towards the center of your body, reach it towards the outside of the right shoulder. See how that changes your stretch. And as the right knee draws in, the left knee continues to reach away from the shoulders, opposing forces. Looking for the stretch here into the outer left hip and glute area. Any pinching or pain in the left knee, please ease off a little bit. Maybe deepen the flex of your ankle, drawing the left toes towards your left shin to protect the knee joint. Release the right foot onto the floor. Let the left foot join it. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Give them a squeeze. Maybe a rock from side to side. Land in the center. Interlace the fingers around the left knee. Extend the right leg long. Deep flex in the ankle. On the right, toes draw towards your face. Find a passive left leg as you hug it in close towards your body. Wind relieving pose on the left. Notice that the toes on the right foot start to tip open to the right. Stay centered on the heel, toes point towards the ceiling. Can you find some softness through the upper body, the shoulders, chest? Maybe relaxing through the jaw and the face. Every breath in lengthens from the right heel to the top of the head. Every breath out, the belly softens, creating space for the left knee to draw in. You can stay in stillness or start to take those gentle circles with the left knee. Really stabilize through the right side body. Resist temptation to tip from side to side. keep the right toes pointing for the ceiling rather than tipping from left to right. Take the circles in the opposite direction. Next time the left knee comes towards the outer left shoulder, pause there. So we're once again showing the inseam of the left pant leg to the sky. Root down through the right hip. You can even use the right hand on the right hip to encourage it into the mat. Take a few breaths here to begin. Stay active through the right leg. And if this in itself is a nice stretch, stay here. There's no need to go further. But if you're not quite feeling it or you'd like to go a bit deeper, you can find your way into half happy baby. Left hand comes to the inside of the left leg. Reach across the shin for the outside of the foot or the ankle. Left knee is going to reach for the floor beside the left shoulder. Start to draw the heel of the left foot towards the sky with a bend in the knee. Stay pressing down through the outer right hip. Option to bend the right knee. Maybe tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. It's acting as a little bit of a counterbalance. Just choosing the level that feels best in your body today. You want to feel supported and safe to allow the muscles to ease off and relax. Just a few more breaths here. Slowly release the left foot. Draw the left knee back through center. Extend the right leg long if it's not already there. And land in your wind relieving pose for a few breaths. Each time we come to a pose we've been to before, you may find you're able to get a little bit more depth. Really fuel that movement with breath. Every inhale creates length, every exhale creates a little bit of space for the left knee to hug in. Release the left arm beside you. Keeping the right hand on the left knee, guide it across your body over to the right for your twist. See if you can keep the left shoulder reaching for the floor, even if that means there's a little more height between your knee and the floor. And supporting yourself with any props or blocks that you have nearby. The gaze can be at the ceiling or over to the left. Filling up your lower left belly with breath. Bring your gaze back through center. The left knee can follow. Hug the left knee in towards you. And then lower the sole of the left foot onto the mat with a bend in the knee. Press down firm through the left foot. Belly engages, low ribs draw in. Reach through the right heel and send the right foot up towards the sky. Take your fingers, interlace them behind the right thigh, or you can use your strap. Create as much length at the back of the right leg as you're able. Really pressing the right thigh into the hand into the thigh for that resistance, that strength. Maybe every inhale you find that pressing motion between the hand and the thigh, and every exhale you soften just a little bit. And turn the toes to face the right side of the room. Bend at the right knee, let the pinky toe edge come to land on the left thigh. Right knee's reaching away from your shoulders for your thread the needle or reclined pigeon pose. You can use the right hand to press the right knee away from you as long as you can keep that left hip rooted into the mat. If you're still not quite feeling a stretch, reach through the space you've created in your legs, draw the left knee in towards you. Take hold of the back of the left thigh, maybe the left shin, as you guide the left knee over towards your left shoulder. Keep a deep flex in the right ankle. Long spine, heavy pelvis. Play with shifting the weight from left hip to right hip. Just see where you feel the stretch most. Find your neutral position. Pause there. Taking one more big breath in and a soft breath out. Slowly release the left foot onto the mat. Let the right foot join it. Take a gentle sway from side to side with the knees, neutralizing the spine and the hips. Pause in the center, reach the right arm overhead. Roll over onto your right side body. You can rest your head on your arm for a pillow. Let the left palm rest softly on the floor or your body. Breathe space into your back body. You're drawing the knees in closer to round through the spine. When you feel ready in your own time, find your way up to a tabletop position. Bringing the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees. And take a gentle sway from side to side, bringing one shoulder to your hip and then the other. Letting the head fall heavy, releasing to the back of your neck. Find your tabletop. And next we'll move through some cat and cows. Lift your tailbone high. Let your belly drop. Heart comes forward. Gaze comes up. Coming into a cow like that. Scoop your tailbone beneath you. Round through your spine like a Halloween cat, gaze to your belly button. Big breath in, lifted tailbone, belly drops. Heart comes forward as you gaze up. Exhale, rounding through your spine, scoop your tailbone beneath you. Press firm through the hands to hollow out your chest and gaze to your belly. Cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale. Exhale. Taking 3 more at your own pace. Linking each movement to a breath and allowing each cycle to be a little bit slower than the one before it. Finding fluid movement. Landing in a neutral spine. From your neutral spine, let the big toes come to touch, the knees go wide apart. Shift your hips back towards the heels. Allow your forehead to settle into the mat as you slide your fingers away, landing in a child's pose. Create length through your entire back body. Spread the fingertips wide. Allow the hips to sink heavily towards the heels. Just the same as we filled our belly with breath lying on our backs. See if you can direct now your breath into the low back, the pelvis, and the hips. Feel it expanding in all directions as you breathe in. Softening as you breathe out. Maybe the hips sink a little bit deeper. Big breath in, low back is expanding. And exhale as the low back softens, begins to relax. Press down through your hands, find your way up through tabletop. Again, shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees. Reach the right leg back behind you. Turn the toes to face the right side of the mat. Reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. You may have to lift your left leg and let it pivot a little bit behind you for some support and some balance. Maybe you can extend your right arm long overhead, creating a long side stretch up the right side of your body. Press down firm through the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Your heart is open to the room in front of you, rather than letting the chest face the floor. Pivot the right hand back onto the mat, turning to your 3-legged tabletop with the right leg extended long. Once again, the right toes point to the right side of the room. Bend the right knee and step forward to the top right corner of the mat. Take as many steps as you need. You can even reach back with the right hand, pick up the foot and move it to the front. We want a nice wide stance here, so the right foot's over to the edge of the mat, toes pointing out slightly. As much or as little bend in the back leg as you need. Option to tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot, showing the inseam of the right pant leg to the sky. Really focus on lengthening through the spine. Drawing the right hip back, the left hip forward. Bring a little bit of weight into the left hand. Right hand comes up onto the right knee, opens the heart up to the right. You can gaze to the right or up to the sky. Maintain integrity through the left shoulder. Every breath in, maybe you lift up just a little bit. Every breath out, sink deeper into this lizard lunge. Return the right hand to the floor. The sole of the right foot finds the floor if it's not already there. Heel toe, the right foot through center until you're able to frame it with your hands. You still want a little bit of a wider stance here to support your balance. Again, as much or as little bend in the back leg as you need, so maybe for this one you shorten your stance, or maybe you're able to lengthen it. Right knee is pointing the same direction as the right toes. Strong left leg. Squeeze the left quad muscle, the front of the left thigh, into the thigh bone. You can stay here with the hands on the floor if you'd like to just work on the stretch. Or you can bring your hands up onto the right thigh, rising up. Option here to reach up high towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And adding on once again, bring the arms out in front of you. Left arm crosses under the right. Bend at the elbows, maybe taking hold of opposite shoulders or bringing the palms to touch. Lengthen through your spine first. Draw the forearms away from your face as you start to round through the upper body, bringing the heart towards the mat. Really challenging your balance here. Give yourself permission to wibble wobble or to fall, or release your hands at any time. Rise back up. Release the arms, inhale, reach up. Exhale, send the fingertips down to the floor. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Start to straighten through the front leg, coming up onto the right heel. Tailbone is reaching for the left heel. It's not to say you're trying to sit down. You're just creating some length through the low back. So the tailbone's reaching back, the top of the head is reaching up and forward. Bringing your gaze towards the big toe of the right foot. And rather than sinking the right hip down towards the left heel, sink the left hip towards it. Staying square through the pelvis. And keep the same straight leg on the right. Start to press down the sole of the right foot as if you're stepping onto a gas pedal. Reaching the entire sole of the foot towards the floor as if you're trying to step down onto it. Walk the hands forward to frame your front foot, returning to your lunge. Right hand comes to the inside of the right leg. Heel toe, the right foot to the outer edge. Shift your hips back as you slide the right leg to meet the left. Take a gentle rock from side to side with the hips, let that go. Find stillness in the center. We're going to move to the opposite side here. So we'll start first by extending the left leg long. Find squared hips, shoulders over wrists. Turn the left toes to face the left side of the room, bringing the inner arch of the left foot to the floor. The weight's going to come into the right hand. We're going to reach the left hand high towards the ceiling, option to lift the right foot, pivot on the right knee for a kickstand. Reach up high. Left toes are still facing the left side of the room, pressing firmly through the pinky toe edge. From there, you can start to reach overhead. Find that full body stretch up your left side. Breathing space into the left waist. Reaching the outer left hip towards the ceiling with every breath in. Finding some softness with every breath out. Slowly pivot the left hand back onto the mat. The right toes return to their spot. The left leg still extended long. Turn the left toes to face the left side of the room. Bend the left knee as you step forward, top left corner of the mat. Take as many steps as you need to get there. The left toes are pointing out slightly. Find a long spine and create a sense of openness in the chest by drawing the collarbones and shoulders away from each other. The shoulder blades draw down your back. Core is active and engaged. Option to tip over onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot, opening up the inseam of the left pant leg to the sky. We're going to bring some weight into the right hand, bring the left hand up onto the left knee. Open your heart up, find a twist. The gaze is either to the left or up to the sky. Think about scooping your low ribs on the right underneath of you. Pressing down firm through the top of the right foot, reaching through the right toes. And slowly return the hand to the floor. The gaze comes neutral. Sole of the left foot finds the mat as well. Heel toe, the left foot through center. Settling into your low lunge to begin. Adjusting your stance however you need, maintaining at least hip distance between the left foot and the right knee. A little bit of a wider stance to support your balance. Squeeze the inner hips, the inner thighs towards each other as the outer hips reach out and back. That's going to strengthen your stance, enabling you to rise up onto the knee. Just watch your low back here. You want your core to stay engaged to support your low back, making sure you don't have a little ski jump to your bum. The right thigh muscle is hugging the bones. The right glute is active as well. Maybe from here you're able to reach up overhead, staying open through the chest. Big breath in to lengthen. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the arms out in front, crossing in the opposite direction. And taking hold of the shoulders, maybe drawing the arms up towards each other, palms come to touch. As the palms are touching or reaching for that direction, start to draw the forearms away from your face. We're going to slowly, with control, round forward. Drawing the elbows towards the belly button. Keep the left knee pointing the same direction as the left toes. Breathe space between your shoulder blades. Rise back up. Release the arms. And let the hands come to frame your front foot. Walk the hands back towards your hips, come up onto the left heel for a half split. Straight leg on the left. The right hip is reaching towards the right heel as the top of the head is drawn away from it. The toes on the left foot are pulling themselves towards the shins as if you're trying to touch them together. Notice if it's the left hip reaching for the right heel. Draw the left hip back over to the left side of the mat. Staying square through the pelvis and the hips. From here, we're going to start to step down with the sole of the left foot as if you're trying to put the entire sole onto the mat. Bring in the stretch now into the front of the left ankle, up the left leg. pressing equally through the big toe mound and pinky toe mound of the left foot. Walk the hands forward, frame the left foot. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot, heel toe to the outer edge. And slide your left foot back to meet the right. Take that gentle sway from side to side with the hips. Find your center. Big toes come to touch, knees go wide apart, shift your hips back. Child's pose. The forehead comes to land on the mat or onto a block or pillow. Creating a long spine with each breath in. Heavy hips with each breath in. Start to walk the hands over to the right edge of the mat. Keep the left hip heavy onto the heel. Option to stack the left hand on top of the right, creating a side stretch of the left side body. Walk the hands back through center. Take a full breath here in the center, neutralizing the spine. Then slowly guide the hands over to the left side of your mat. Right hip now is heavy, reaching for the right heel. Forehead rests. Maybe you stack the right hand on top of the left, adding just that little bit more length up the right side. Directing the right armpit down towards the mat rather than letting it lift up. Walk the hands back through center. One more big breath here, maybe letting this one be passive. Release the arms into the mat. And find your way up to a tabletop. One more gentle sway of the hips from side to side. And we'll come to land on our backs. Lying on your back with the knees bent to begin. Walk the feet to the edges of the mat as the knees tip into touch. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Just feel the natural rise and fall of belly and chest with every breath. Reconnecting with your mat and your breath as you land here on your back. This is always a great alternative to Shavasana if you have low back sensitivities. Coming to rest with a bend in the knees supporting one another, and help to release the low back into the mat, let it feel supported and safe. We're going to heel toe the feet towards each other. Draw the knees in towards the chest, this time taking them a little bit wider, creating space between the thighs. Pelvis is heavy on the floor, long spine. Start to breathe into your belly, let it rise and fall between the space you created in between your legs. Every breath in lengthens the spine. The tailbone grows heavy. Every exhale, maybe you're able to draw the knees a little bit closer towards the outer shoulders. If you're feeling a nice stretch here, stay as you are. We're going to move into full happy baby by bringing the arms to the inside of the thighs. I've got a bit of a glare here with the sunshine. Hopefully you can see. Take hold of the outer edges of the pinky toe edge of the feet, or the ankles, whatever is accessible. Keep your pelvis in contact with the floor as the knees reach for the floor beside your shoulders. Soles of the feet reach up towards the sky with a bend in the knees. The tailbone and the pelvis are going to want to lift here. Really focus on lengthening the entire spine. Pressing the low back firmly into the mat. Keep breathing into the belly, letting it rise and fall between the legs. And whether you're in that wide knee position with the knees hugged into the shoulders, or you're in happy baby, option here to start to rock gently side to side while maintaining the distance between the legs. Just massaging out the low back. Find stillness in the center. Slowly release the legs, allowing the feet to find their way onto the mat. Soles of the feet come to touch, the knees open up like a book, creating a diamond shape with the legs. You can release the arms softly at your side, tuck the shoulder blades beneath you. Find a gentle tuck in the chin. With that diamond shape in the legs, the knees opened up like a book, showing the inseam of the pant legs to the sky. You can start to feel a sense of openness through the inner thighs and hips. If it's a little too much and you'd like to ease off, just simply slide the heels away from the pelvis, lengthening the diamond. Or for a little bit more, draw the heels in closer towards the pelvis. You also always have the option of sliding a pillow, bolsters, blocks beneath the knees for some added support to allow this to be a little more restorative. Begin to direct the breath in and out through the nose. And take a big breath into the belly. Let it rise up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, it softens. Maybe the legs surrender to gravity a little bit more. Each breath in, finding space in the belly, filling the lungs. And each breath out, completely emptying the lungs of that entire breath. Take one more big breath here. Slowly let it go as you extend the legs long to the bottom of the mat, creating space between the feet. Settling into stillness. Making any last minute adjustments that you need to find comfort here on your bed. Just scanning your body from the tip of your toes to the top of your head, noticing any subtle changes from when you first landed on your mat. Letting go of any attachment you may have to today's practice, or any expectations for what's waiting for you off of the mat. Instead, simply be here in this very moment, connected to your practice of breath. Feeling the support of your mat beneath you, the breath as it moves through your body. And taking as long as you like here on your back in stillness. When you feel ready, gather your belongings and get up and go as slowly and mindfully as possible. Allow leaving your practice to become part of your practice. And with such gratitude as always for you joining me, Namaste.